What's up guys, Jay Yadlowski here. I'm in sunny Las Vegas today and I wanted to share a few tips on travel photography and how you can take better photos while you're traveling. So let's get into it. So if you're like me, most of the time when I'm trying to get some travel photographs, it's usually when I'm traveling with my family or we're on vacation. So recently I was out in Las Vegas and I wanted to share just a few tips and a few things that I keep in mind while I'm trying to get some good photographs while I'm traveling. So tip number one, try and find a different perspective. Usually when I show up someplace, I'll look around and I'm always trying to think of how I can get a good photograph. So as I'm looking around, you'll usually see the obvious images. In this case, I was at Hoover Dam, and the obvious image here is to take a picture of the dam. So, I took a picture of the Hoover Dam here. It's very impressive. It's pretty awesome. It's huge. But then after I got a few shots of the dam itself, I started thinking, what kind of shot can I take that is not something that you would normally see or not something that somebody with a cell phone would take? So as I was looking around, on the wall, it says, "Danger, keep off the wall." So I thought it'd be pretty cool to get the danger, keep off the wall in focus with the wall in the background or the dam in the background and just give you a different perspective, a cool kind of picture that, most people might not think to take, but that I thought was pretty cool. Another quick, easy thing to try and do is just change your angle. So for example, this picture here, I was standing at a gate that they had gated off. I couldn't get any further down here. So this is just standing, a picture at eye level. And most of the time, most people take pictures at eye level. But you have to think about changing your perspective. So the first thing I usually try is to get down low. The same picture here, just down low on the ground. I held my camera down on the ground and below the gate that was there. Now this is a lot more interesting once you move the camera down to the ground. Next shot here, same thing. About perspective. I might stand back far and try and get a whole picture of this statue here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but what if you walk up close and you go with a wide angle shot and you try and get the whole thing in there straight from right below it? It's just a different perspective that, somebody might not normally get. Along with changing perspective, don't be afraid to get down on the ground or get high or get low or just move around. One of my favorite things to do is, like I said earlier, is just to get low to the ground. It always makes a unique kind of image that most people aren't going to take. Here I did the exact same thing, stopped on the road, and thankfully there was not much traffic here, so I was able to get this cool image looking down the road. And again, I got low to the ground. Another image here, I got even lower. Basically, the camera's on the ground here. And this gave a cool perspective of the road in front of you, the mountains and rocks coming in. Again, this is the Valley of Fire out near Las Vegas. But getting low to the ground always gives you an interesting perspective that most people don't get in their images. Again, another perspective here. This is down on the Strip in Las Vegas where you have tons and tons of people. So you have to try and think of how can I photograph a particular image and not get all the people in it. So in this case, I found a tree and I just kind of allowed some of the branches to encroach in on the picture and framed up the Eiffel Tower here in the middle of the picture. And I think it kind of makes it more interesting than seeing a bunch of people in a normal snapshot of a picture. Tip number 2 is to capture pictures of the details. Everywhere you go, there's going to be details. And not everybody thinks to take pictures of that. Now, food, okay, maybe is a more common thing that people take pictures of nowadays. But still, you can make it more interesting than just a snapshot with your cell phone. Here we were at Bobby Flay's Burger Palace. And just a couple pictures here of the food that we had gotten there. Milkshake, a burger, salad. And all these things are just details of where we were, what we were eating, what we were doing. and they make for great photos. Here, there's a lock that was on a door at a fort that we had gone to look at, and it's just something that's different that you don't see every day, and it's one of those little details that I think makes for a cool picture. So tip number 3 is to be patient. A lot of times when you're in touristy locations, there's a lot of people there, and a lot of times you don't want all these people in your images. So in this picture here, the Vegas sign, I had gone out fairly early in the morning, and in this image you can see there's some people there, but not too many. I think the later in the day you wait, the more people there would be. But here I just kept waiting and waiting for people to kind of clear out. And then I decided to move a little closer to the sign. And then I figured I would also get down low to the ground. And then I was able to end up with this image where you don't see the cars on the road on the side. You don't see all the people. It's low to the ground, which kind of leads you into the sign here. You do see all the power lines in the back, which I think are unavoidable almost in this case. But you can always remove those later in Photoshop and get a nice clean image of this sign. So tip number 3 is be patient and wait for people to move out of the way. Tip number 4, try taking your photograph and aiming your camera just a little bit above the head of the people that are around. So in this example, you see there's all kinds of people down here waiting at the restaurants. This was Gordon Ramsay's Fish and Chips. I thought it was kind of cool sign there. So, my first picture here, all right, I got people, I got the sign, it doesn't look so great. So if I tilted my angle up a little bit and I cut the people out of the picture, it's a lot cleaner image. You don't see the people in there and you can kind of see the sign better, and it kind of brings your focus to the sign a little bit more. So I do that a lot where I'll raise my camera up and I'll shoot a little bit higher or just above the heads of people. And then that way you're able to get a great image of wherever you're at and you don't get all the people in the image. Tip number 5. As you're walking around different places, look for images or think about images that could tell a story. So here's a few images that I thought kind of tell a story or make you wonder, what's the story? What was going on here? So this image shows a game of checkers going on. You're wondering, well, what was that game like back in the day when this might have been played? What were people thinking? What else was on their minds? What were they doing? Another image here, piles of musket or rifle ammunition, it looks like. So it's just interesting to see that. It makes me wonder, what were those used for? What kind of battles went on at this fort? Another image here, this was a little display set up, but I thought this was interesting. It kind of tells the story of what it was like to live in the time that this home here might have been used. Another image here, when I had stopped on the side of the road, that picture you saw me in the middle of the road taking a picture, happened to just look over to the shoulder and there was a bunch of tin cans over there and mostly garbage. But I thought it was kind of interesting just to get down and grab a picture of one of these. What's the story behind this bottle or this can here? It looks pretty old to me. I don't remember seeing a can like this in recent years, and it's all rusted up. Looks like it's been out there a long time. What's the story with that? It's a road in the middle of the desert with nothing around. Another thing you can try is while you're out traveling is try some night photography. A lot of cities and different places that you might go look awesome at night. They have lights. There's all kinds of different colors and lights and things going on in the evening that can make for great shots. So get out there at nighttime and try to see what you can capture. Here again, combining a couple things, night photography, some details, a story, what's going on here. I thought this was kind of cool how they had the tree wrapped in lights, but they also had the top of the tree lit up here. So just kind of something different that you might not normally see a picture of. You might not think to take a picture of this. And finally here, one of the hotels, the Luxor here, you have a night shot where it's got the beam of light coming out of the top, kind of cool, and something you just don't see all the time, and something most people might not think to take a picture of. And again, you can practice your composition, your different rules of photography at night and try and get the best shots you can. And it could be pretty interesting. I think you can come up with some great images. Hope you're able to learn a little something from this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Pick a video. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Definitely hit that subscribe button.